The sun was just beginning to set over the city of Municiberg. A powerfully built, handsome blonde bachelor wearing a tuxedo maneuvered his sporty little car through the streets of the city, listening to the radio. He was on his way to a very important appointment when suddenly, "We interrupt for an important bulletin." The man listened for details. A high-speed car chase between police and gunmen was in progress on San Pablo Boulevard. Without hesitation, the man punched a button on the dash. The radio immediately converted into an electronic aerial map. The map's sophisticated radar system locked on two red dots speeding through the city. "Yeah, I've got time," the man decided, giving his watch a glance. He could still make his appointment. He hit another button marked Auto Drive, and the car began to drive itself. Then he typed Merge Pursuit into the controls. The auto drive immediately began to plot a course to intercept the trouble. Next, the seat backs of the car snapped down flat. Two steel bands suddenly wrapped around the man's waist and slid over his body in opposing directions, removing his clothes to reveal a slick super suit underneath. He wore a dark mask over his eyes. The seat backs returned to an upright position. The man in the driver's seat was none other than Mr. Incredible, and he was ready for action. Mr. Incredible smiled as his vehicle converted into the sleek, futuristic Incredibile. As he hit the turbo button, afterburners flamed and the car rocketed down the street. Then something caught his eye. A sweet gray-haired woman was frantically waving at him and pointing at a tree. Mr. Incredible hit the brakes. Reverse retro thrusters fired, and the Incredibile stopped on a dime. A darkly tinted window slid down. "What is it, ma'am?" "My cat, Squeaker, won't come down," she cried. Mr. Incredible glanced up at the wild-eyed Squeaker, who was stubbornly gripping the tree. Then at the screen on the dash of the Incredibile. Red dots from the car chase were now headed their way. A blazing car-to-car gun battle would rip down this street within moments. "I suggest you stand clear," he said to the cat's owner. "There could be trouble." Suddenly, the squeal of screeching tires could be heard. The headlights of the car were moving toward them fast. In one sweeping motion, Mr. Incredible tore the enormous tree out of the ground and gently shook Squeaker into his owner's outstretched arms. Then he slammed the tree onto the hood of the oncoming car, stopping the criminals in their tracks. As he carefully replanted the tree, Mr. Incredible accepted the usual thanks from the police. "Just here to help," he said, giving each of them a nod. "Officers, ma'am, Squeaker." He was about to leave the scene when the radio began to blare. "Tour bus robbery in the vicinity of Howard and Chase Streets." Mr. Incredible looked at his watch again. "I've still got time," he thought. Deciding to take the call, he jumped into the Incredibile, but just before he pulled out, someone in the car said, "Cool! Ready for takeoff!" Mr. Incredible turned to find a pudgy kid sitting in the passenger seat of the Incredibile. "Who are you?" Mr. Incredible asked.
"I'm Incrediboy,"
the kid answered enthusiastically. "What? No," Mr. Incredible said as he looked him over. The red-headed kid was wearing a mask and a homemade supersuit. Then Mr. Incredible recognized him. "Buddy?" he asked. Buddy, the president of the Mr. Incredible fan club, answered with a frown.
"My name is Incrediboy."
"Look," Mr. Incredible said, trying to be patient. "I've stood for every photo, signed every scrap of paper, but this is a bit much." But Buddy wasn't listening.
"You don't have to worry about training me," he answered quickly. "I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, everything."
The volume of Buddy's voice suddenly cranked up to 10.
"I'm your #1 fan,"
he yelled. Suddenly, the door of the Incredibile whooshed open, ejecting an angry Incrediboy onto the side of the road. Mr. Incredible hit the afterburners and peeled out.